SolidJet's newest release includes a tool to automatically create gating hierarchies. In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at that tool and make a few examples. We are now on a new illustration page in an experiment where gating has already been performed. If you look at the top bar, you may notice a brand new icon on the far right. This is the gating hierarchy button. When I click the gating hierarchy button, a dialog box will pop up. Here you can create a simple series of ancestor plots for one population, or a more complex hierarchy with arrows and branching. Let's start by selecting one population. The across or down option will create a row or column of plots showing the selected population and each gate that led to it. We'll discuss the other options in a moment. For now, let's leave the setting set to across. I'll click Insert, which will close the dialog box. Just like with other plots, you can now see a preview of the plots that will be created, and we can place these anywhere on screen. Once placed, these flow plots are identical to plots that you could create manually, so we can make any changes that we want. Remember that you can change the styles of multiple plots at the same time as long as they share the same feature. So I can go to plot settings and change the color scale or make any other changes I want to all of these dot plots. Let's look more closely at the other layout options. Down will create the same plots as across, but vertically. Left-aligned and layered hierarchies create hierarchies with more complex layouts, including automatically generated plot positions and arrows. I'm going to select left-aligned first, and then choose several populations from the hierarchy. This layout arranges plots so children are beneath parents, and then sibling gates are placed left to right. Let's look at the final layout option, which creates a layered graph. Like left-aligned graphs, this layout can show branching hierarchies, but it positions plots towards the center of the graph, with plots spreading out to the left and to the right at each layer. No matter which layout you choose, any flow plots and arrows generated are just like the components that you can create manually. So we can move components, set up batching, or apply any other Cell Engine features. Details for all of the features are covered in the Introduction to Illustrations video, which I'll link down below. But for convenience, let's cover a few of the most common adjustments that you might want to make to a gating hierarchy. When you have all of the components of a left-aligned or layered hierarchy selected, you can adjust the size of the group without changing any of the arrow positions relative to other components. You'll also notice that the style options of the flow plots can't be adjusted when you also have arrows selected, since only shared options can be changed simultaneously, and arrows don't have color scales, tick marks, and other flow plot options. Instead, to change options, select one plot, and then go to Edit, select Same Type, and make changes from there. To automatically generate a gating hierarchy for each sample in the experiment, we can use batching. Check Batched Illustration at the top of the page, and you'll see page variables appear next to it. Clicking this will open a dialog box. There are multiple approaches to choosing page variables, but for this example, I'm going to choose FCS files and then select All. I'm going to use the All option at the top of the list, which will update the figure dynamically. That means if I go back and add more files to this experiment later, the figure will be updated automatically without me having to make any changes. Save your changes once you're done making selections. To complete the batching setup, we'll select the plots to batch. In some cases, there might be control reference plots that you don't want to batch, but for this figure, I'd like every plot to change to the same sample, so I'll select flow plots the same way as for styling, by going to Edit and selecting the same type. Then I'll check Batch next to whichever variable I'd like to batch the figure by, in this case, FCS file. That's all for today's new feature highlight. Would love to hear what you think about the new gating hierarchy tool. Not every new feature gets a highlight, so remember to check the release notes section in the documentation for all the latest Cell Engine updates and features. And if there's a new feature that you'd like to see in Cell Engine in the future, reach out and let us know.